Alright, this is how we do the tic-tac-toe and Onshape. So, I'm going to start by making a sketch on the front face, and we're going to look at the front face and we're going to draw a rectangle that is 4.5 inches by 1.5 inch. There we go. We'll then hit finish sketch, click the top of the cube, and we will extrude it for 4.5 inches. There we go. Now we have to make a grid on this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sketch on the top, and I'm going to make a rectangle right here, and I'm going to make a point in the exact middle. See if this works. So I'm looking for the two middle points. So that's the middle. Okay, so we got a point there. This should be 1/16 of an inch. It's very small. And from the edge, this should be 1.5 minus 1/32 in parentheses. And where am I getting that? Well, I want this exactly a third of the way. So this is 1.5 would be a third of the way. But then the thickness of this is 1/16. So I need this to be right in the middle of this thickness to be directly as a third. So that would be 1/32. So I hit enter and I have my distance. Okay. Now I want to try to do a circular pattern with this. So I'm going to select my geometry, making a yellow box. And I am going to set my center point on this point in the middle. And then I have to set the amount of times it's going to rotate from being 3 to 4. And you will see when I do that, I get this nice grid, which I can then click down and finish. Now I got some quick housekeeping to do. I'm going to take the trim tool and trim where all the intersections are. Nicey nice. Boom, boom, boop, boop. All right, and after that's done, I hit finish sketch. And I just want to extrude this big grid here. I want to remove it 1/16 of an inch. And I would like to click OK. Now, the difficult part here is I should probably always do the holes first, and I always forget to do that. So I want to make a hole that is perfectly centered right here. And this hole is going to be a 1/2 inch. And I want this hole to be perfectly centered in the square. So that means I want this hole to be, the center of this hole to be 0.75, right, by 0.75. Okay, so that should in theory be centered in the hole, because to write in the center of this should be 1.5. And now I want to do a linear pattern. So I'm going to select just the circle, and I want it to go 3 times over 1.5 this way. So this is good. 3x 1.5 this way. And then this one up here that says going 1 time, I want to flip it around. So see it's going down. Where it says 1x, I want it to say 3x. And the distance here where it says 1, I want it to say 1.5. Hit enter. And now you see I'm going to get my tic-tac-toe grid perfectly centered. And a good way to check if this is perfectly centered, although you do not have to do it, but if we went back in the sketch, a good way to check would be if I can draw a line through both corners here, it should be going through the centers, as you can see it is. Now you don't have to do that, but it's a nice way to check. So I'm going to hit finish sketch. Now I'm doing these with flat bottom holes. If you wanted to do them with a concave bottom, you would have to use the point tool, but I did not. So I just wanted to do flat bottom, so I'm going to select all of these holes. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to remove them, and I'm going to remove them down 1/8 of an inch. 0.125. So there we go, I got all my holes. And then the last thing I need to do is I want to go to what would look like a top edge anyway. So pick any of your edges really. And you're going to sketch on it, right? So I sketch on what was the back for me. And this time I do want to drill holes that have a point to them. So I'm going to use the point tool. I'm going to set it up so it's in the middle here. I'm going to put 2 points in the middle. I want each of these points to be 1 inch in from the edge. This leaves room for a third hole if you should need it. I'm going to hit finish sketch. So I've got my 2 points there. And I'm going to go to the hole tool. And with the hole tool, I'm going to select those 2 points. I just want a regular hole here, no counterbore, no nothing, just a simple hole. So I've got the hole diameter was 0.5. I want that to actually be 5/8. And the depth, I want this to be 4. So it's going down most of the way. And I'm going to hit check. And as you can see, if I look in there, I've got my hole that's going a large way through this shape. So that is the tic-tac-toe board on Onshape. Now, if you wanted to get a little fancy, you don't have to do this, but we can do a 0.125. What does an eighth look like? Not too much, no. We can do an 1/8 inch round over on all the edges. I think it's saying it's a little too extreme. It's not liking it, so I might have to do a 1/16. So do a 1/16 and then I can pick all of the edges here, and you can go around and do a small round over on the edges, one at a time. And then with the bottom, if you want to do really fast, you just click the whole face. So that'll give you all your round overs. And I'm gonna select, yep, I want that. So got nice round overs. And then if you want, you can right click on the part and edit the appearance. Maybe give it a more woodsy feel. Whatever you want to do. Okay, so that is how to draw the tic-tac-toe board in Onshape.